After selecting overall Reese and Francis Mauigoa with the 5th and 10th overall pick, a lot of us Giants fans are wondering who is going to have the more impactful rookie season between the two, and I'm here to break that down. What's going on, Giants fans? Welcome back to Blue and Boat. I'm your host, Sabi Jamor, and these are two really exciting picks. These are the first of the John Harbaugh era picks with overall Reese and Francis Mauigoa, two amazing prospects in their respective positions. So overall Reese, the 5th overall pick out of Ohio State. Sure, while he had most of his production at the edge rusher spot, and that's what he was being labeled as in the NFL draft, John Harbaugh has stated that he was going to be playing linebacker, alongside Trey Edmonds, and I love that move because you can't teach that. You can't teach that sort of athleticism. I mean, he's sitting what 6'4", 200 what sub 240 pounds. I mean, this is just a freak athlete at the linebacker position, and sure he can be an amazing edge rusher if you develop him into that. But I feel like putting too much on his plate at the inside linebacker position and sprinkling him in at edge, which is what I assume they will do. And there's gonna be some sort of packages for that Darnell Wilson defense, and I can't. He's gonna be so excited to work with him. You can just sell. But is it? I think it could be too much for a rookie to be playing practically two positions at once. I mean, if you're sprinkling him in at edge, say if you rush him to the inside or move him out of edge, and then still playing linebacker all in the same game, I believe it could be too much. I mean, he's still only 20 years old. He's got a lot to learn. His body can still grow. He can get stronger. Uh, I feel like it will be best for the Giants to just play him at one position, which will be the inside linebacker position. Let him get used to one position for a full year, and then slowly work his way into becoming the dynamic player that we all think he could be. Um, but yeah, like he will be playing more and more as his career progresses, which is what we all want as Giants fans. We want the most return on our investment. But for now, I believe it's only best if he plays inside linebacker. And he could be an all pro level inside linebacker with that frame and with that athleticism right there. But if he just gets the technique and the IQ of the game, the speed of the game correctly, if he adjusts to it well, he could be a hell of a linebacker for the Giants. He could be the next Roquan Smith as to what John Harbaugh was for him in Baltimore. And we would love to have that with the 5th overall pick. So Oliver Reese is gonna have. I believe he will do fine for in his rookie season. I'm not expecting too much out of him because, like I said, he's only 20 years old. He has a lot to learn and a lot to develop on in his game. But the pick I'm most excited about is Francis Mauigoa, the 10th overall pick, the offensive tackle out of Miami. He played tackle, mostly. Basically all of his snaps were played at right tackle in his whole collegiate career. He's only played 10 career snaps at the right guard position in his college career, and the rest have been right tackle. But in the press conference, after the round one draft, they have stated that he will play right guard. So your projected starting five is Andrew Thomas at left guard, left tackle, John Runyan at left guard, John Michael Smith at center, Francis Mauigoa at right guard, and Jermaine Illuminor, who you just signed to an extension at right tackle, which I believe can be a top 10 offensive line in football. I mean, the statistics show we were already a top 10 line going going into this season already without Francis Mauigoa. So I believe this will just raise the ceiling and higher the floor that we have already been at. So he's been training with former Giants offensive lineman John Feliciano during the pre-draft process. And he talked about that in his draft conferences. I've been working with John Feliciano out of Knoxville Triple F. It's pretty simple. Tackle, you've got a lot of space. You got to cover. Guard, you've got minimum space. If anything, he said guard will be easier. So just ready to work at it. And then Francis Mauigoa stated on his preparation and mindset and what he's looking forward to in the NFL draft. Probably different techniques than tackle, but I've been cross-training my whole training process, so I feel confident in my skills and I'm ready for a lot more. Just making myself valuable. I'm hungry for a spot. And I love this quote from Francis Mauigoa here because this is exactly the type of player John Harbaugh has been looking for. I mean, he's clearly a team-first player. As John Harbaugh stated in his introductory press conference, the team, the team, the team. He wants players who will fight and die for this team, and that's what Francis Mauigoa is here to bring. I'm not sure he will live up to it. I hope he does, but that is what he's showing early on as a Giant. Competitive drive and work ethic. I mean, you're getting drafted as a tackle. You're not being drafted to be a guard. But there's been plenty of tackles who switched to guard after the draft process. I mean, there's Zach Martin. There's I'm pretty sure there's a lot more, but Zach Martin's the one I can only remember because he turned out to be an All Pro. Greg Zabel. I believe he moved to center after being drafted as a tackle in the late rounds. Um, and Francis Mauigoa seems like a very coachable player, and his development the is going to be the highest storyline I believe in this season. So, to me, who do I think is going to have the more impactful season as a rookie? I believe it's Francis Mauigoa because he has he has good teammates around him in that starting five. You have Andrew Thomas, an All Pro, Jermaine Illuminor. He's quickly becoming one of the best tackles in the league. Not even just right tackles, just tackles in general. Uh, you have a rising center in John Michael Smith. I know it doesn't look like it, but there are some advanced stats that I saw that were pretty encouraging to me. And then John Runyon, he's basically your average center, which is not bad. He's not horrible, but you could also look to upgrade that left guard position at maybe another offseason. But Francis Mauigoa is just, I believe his ceiling is, I believe Oliver Reese's ceiling is much higher than Francis Mauigoa's. I mean, just based off pure athleticism. But Francis Mauigoa, I believe, could get us our earliest return on investment with this season, protecting Jackson Dart. And that was the objective going into this offseason. And I believe they have done that to an extent. They didn't show as much investment as I thought they would, but they certainly have done it with the 10th overall pick, trading Dexter Lawrence for Francis Mauigoa basically straight up. So, yeah, that is my thoughts on that. But if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It would all be really appreciated. And yeah, let's go Big Blue.